Coming up next, babysitting. Just kidding. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. A Hamilton school has been named Wintec Waikato King Country Young Enterprise Company of the Year. Just Kidding Babysitting was created by students from Waikato Diocesan School for Girls, and their online babysitter booking business creation topped the region and now sees them heading to the national final in Wellington. Anne-Marie found out more about the awards they won.
So at the awards last Thursday, we won the Staples Roadway Financial Management Award. We also won the University of Waikato Leadership Award, which was awarded to me as the CEO. And we also won the overall Best Waikato Yes Company of the Year. And also throughout the year, we've also won the Dragon's Den competition and the Trade Fair competition.
So Ken, as business mentor, when did you come on board? What's your background?
I am. In fact, I'm proud of all 8 girls. They've all worked remarkably hard throughout the year, fully committed. And in most of the teams that I've mentored, there's usually 1 or 2 that sort of are carried by the rest of the team. This is the exception.
Victoria, tell me how the group came up with the babysitting idea.
Well, we actually didn't start off with this idea. We had quite big ideas to start off with. Then we kind of realised they were a bit too big, a bit unattainable. So we got thinking on what sort of business experience we'd had together, and the common thing seemed to be babysitting. So we were wondering how we could take this understated task and evolve it.
And how many girls make up the business?
So we have 8 girls who make up Just Kidding Babysitting. There's me as the CEO, Victoria. There's 2 communications managers, Phoebe Havel and Sophie Thomas. We have a marketing and advertising director, both of them, Remy Garrett and Bronte Douglas. We have a finance director, Grace Reid, and then we also have an IT director, Selena Smith, and a graphics director, Taylor Warren.
Do you all get along?
Well, it was great because we were all friends beforehand and we'd all kind of done something similar in year 10 with the BP Community Enterprise project. So we were all friends going in, and I guess I can say that we're all stronger friends coming out.
So Ken, tell me about your role as mentor. What's its purpose?
Really just to help flesh out the ideas. It's a guiding role. I mean, the work is done by the young women. And in fact, they're a very focused group, an amazingly focused group. So this is one of the few groups that I've mentored over the last 8 years that really hasn't required a lot of help. And the groups that are mentored in the Young Enterprise Scheme throughout New Zealand do significantly better than those that aren't. And really it's the idea is to teach young men and young women business. And I mean, and we need more entrepreneurs in New Zealand and more successful businesses. So that's really the focus throughout the year. The achievements are fantastic, but the real purpose is an understanding of business.
So Victoria, tell me about Just Kidding Babysitting. How does it work?
So we do everything from our website, which is www.justkiddingbabysitting.co.nz, which we're helped create by Hypercube Web Design. And on this website, we can parents book with babysitters. They can book online, they can pay by PayPal, or we can arrange alternative means of payment. And then we contact the parents throughout the whole process so they know what's going on. We send them a little profile of their babysitter so they know who's coming, and they pay us directly, and then we pay the babysitter after the job.
So it's a cash flow brilliant business. There's no credit control. If you don't pay, you don't get a babysitter. So there's great security as well, and we don't have any babysitter then losing money or not collecting enough. So if you don't pay in advance, you don't get a babysitter.
You try and match a babysitter with the client as well, is that right?
So we've hired our babysitters based on their skills mostly, but then also their ability to care for children as well. But when we are talking to the parents, we ask them what their children like, what their children are good at, stuff like that, and then we try and match the babysitter to the children so that they have similar interests, they'll be doing things that are good for learning and things like that.
So Ken, why do you believe Just Kidding Babysitting has been successful?
Well, I think that this school's quite unique, and basically 98% of the girls go to university, so they go to tertiary education, and most of them will look at professional careers. But in fact, there's a crying need out there to have successful businesses. So a lot of the alumni that I've had through the scheme here have gone on to careers in commerce. So the skills that it teaches about human resource, how they work together as a team, finances, marketing, sales, ideas, having a good argument around the table and still showing respect, Those are the things, the same skills that we need in business. So I think that's really the key ingredient that comes out of it, an understanding of business, and it's not all fun. It's quite stressful. There are deadlines that these girls have to meet, strict deadlines, and they do. And as a group, collectively, it's been quite remarkable, as I said before, their teamwork. In fact, the disappointing thing about the Young Enterprise Awards is I thought they deserved the prizes of best teamwork, but we missed out on that one.
Now, you're off to the national finals in December. How are you going to help the girls prepare for that presentation?
Doesn't require a lot of help. I mean, what we've just got to do is repeat what's already been done at Dragon's Den, but with only 2 girls, and that's a bit disappointing because all 8 presented outstandingly well. So really, it's the confidence of the time. They also, that's only part of the marks. The real marks come from the annual review that these girls have presented. So they've put together 16 pages of an annual review, which includes an outline of the business, their success and the finances.
Ken, what are you most proud of?
Oh, just the teamwork. And in fact, sometimes you turn up at a meeting after a long day at work and you really think, I'd rather go home. But in fact, the vivacity of these young women, their enthusiasm, the zing that they've got is uplifting. So, you know, I may help put a few ideas in their heads, but in fact, they give me a real boost each day that I come along.
Just Kidding Babysitting will travel to Wellington to the Young Enterprise Company of the Year National Final in December. To book a babysitter, go to justkiddingbabysitting.co.nz.